rich. Lemonade actually has one of the highest margins in retail, and if you can get 25 neighborhood kids selling it for you. I also have an affiliate code, so if I can tell you how to get rich and you can find 5 other people to tell other people how to get rich, the money funnels up to the first people telling other people how to get rich. Asking people for spare change outside of a liquor store is a great way to pad your monthly income. So you can see the utility of getting in this space now while there's still a plethora of people who haven't been told properly how to tell other people properly how to get rich. Buying every fly swatter on Amazon and selling them out of an RV at high traffic campsites. I just recently did a profile on the top 3 wealth accumulation influencers. That's me getting rich by telling you a list of other people also telling you how to get rich. It's New Year's resolution time, and you know what that means. My Discord subscription did just go up in price a little bit. Brilliant ideas that can make you a millionaire, like storing people's junk that you meet on Craigslist. But that $30 a month that they made storing literal garbage will allow them to feel like they're building wealth, they're building capital, and also allow them to pay my $35 a month subscription fee. You're looking in the mirror, you see a poor person. I'm about to tell you how to rent the 3 or 4 extra rooms in your house out for cash money.
How bad is the U.S. economy? Well, it's that bad. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. My name's Zukradowski here of WeAreChange.org, and we have a bunch of absolutely crazy news to get into, especially when it comes to the latest developments in the U.S. Virgin Islands. What was going on there? Well, we're going to be talking about that, plus a lot more, as well as the latest developments now unfolding in the U.S. Congress. Yes, it is crazy, it is bombastic, it is insane, and it is definitely worth talking about, which we're going to be discussing here on this independent media broadcast. If you like this shirt that I'm wearing, you could get it on thebestpoliticalshirts.com, and the clip that we played in the beginning of this broadcast is done by the extremely talented Ryan Long in his latest video that is titled Get Rich by Telling People How to Get Rich. A brilliant comedy skit that I think is worth watching. We only played a small clip for you. You could watch the full video by clicking his channel down in the description below. He is definitely worth a subscription to. And people always ask me, hey, how come you're not subscribed? This is my work computer. I'm definitely subscribed. I definitely click the notification button because when Ryan Long releases a video, it is absolutely a must watch. And his latest video definitely is a critique of our modern financial times, which aren't doing that well, as you would know if you would watch yesterday's video that we did on this broadcast, as a lot of people are getting screwed, especially in the financial world, but also in the big government regulation world, as of course the U.S. government is rolling out a new EV tax credit, which will subsidize the purchase of electric car vehicles, but only certain car vehicles. That, of course, the U.S. federal government doesn't have a larger vendetta against them and its owners, as, of course, there's a lot of hypocrisy here, as electric vehicles that are being built inside of the United States and have a range of 330 miles of range on one charge don't qualify for the tax credit because they're a Tesla, but a car built in Mexico that has an EV range of 23 miles does get the federal tax credit, highlighting clearly how the federal government is absolutely trying to screw over Elon Musk, since, of course, Elon Musk is exposing a lot of the bigger secrets behind the U.S. federal government, manipulating big tech social media for their own personal benefit while censoring and destroying free speech for many Americans. And if you thought the Twitter files were bad, imagine what the Google files are, as today we also found out that Google's home speaker device, smart home device, had a flaw in it that allowed hackers to actually have backdoor access to the device, which could not only control it, but turn on its microphone and spy on unsuspecting users. And if you thought the Google Home or the Amazon Alexa or the Facebook Fedbook home device wasn't listening to you on behest of the intelligence agencies, well, now you could also add illicit criminals and hackers to the list of people spying on every single thing you say. Why are people taking listening devices and installing them into their own homes and connecting it to almost every single device that they have inside of there? It's almost as if you're living in one of Mr. Epstein's homes, which were rigged with surveillance devices as they were tracking, watching, and taking photos and videos of very powerful people that flew to private islands as they were procured small children to do whatever they wanted to with. This, as if you remember a couple days ago, we reported to you that the U.S. Virgin Islands are doing something that is extremely unprecedented, and they have just launched a lawsuit against JP Morgan and Chase, accusing them of being a part of this larger trafficking and extortion operation involving Mr. Epstein. The U.S. Virgin Islands Attorney General Denise George filed the lawsuit specifically detailing how JP Morgan and Chase broke the rules, didn't follow regulations, and actually benefited from hiding information from the federal authorities that would have stopped the hurting of small children. JP Morgan and Chase is alleged to have played a very active role in this. The U.S. Virgin Islands were actually going after this until just moments ago when we found out that the Attorney General that filed this court case, this very important one that through discovery probably would have found out a lot of important details about what actually was happening here, was just terminated and fired by the governor of the U.S. Virgin Islands without even cause being given to her termination. Now, why was she fired? That's a very important question here, as of course it's important to note here that this brave woman, Denise George, came out and detailed a lot of the things that we already knew, but did it in a way where we could have had discovery, we could have had legal court precedent and action that could have exposed a lot of deeper, darker secrets of one of the biggest financial institutions in the world that were allegedly actively playing a major role in the Mr. Epstein saga. This is why we dedicated a full video to this lawsuit a few days ago, and now with the termination of this Attorney General, it's pretty clear that this lawsuit will not be going forward. There still is 2 other individuals suing JP Morgan and Chase that most likely will settle out of court. As of course, the disclosures here, what we could find out here about how JP Morgan and Chase played a big role here probably would be shocking for many people to find out. Now back to our original question, why was this very brave woman fired? Well, again, there was no official reason given. Was she a bad worker? Was she a corrupted worker? All signs originally point to no. Did she do anything wrong? All signs, again, point to no. But it is very interesting to note that the time of her firing is exactly when Joe Biden was also visiting the Virgin Islands. This, as the U.S. Virgin Islands are also trying to get a lucrative federal fund that would have the U.S. federal government funneling a lot of money into the U.S. Virgin Islands for, quote, renewable energy, along, of course, with a bailout for the territory. And with Biden being in town, along with his other larger corrupted cronies, I think it's fair to say that the federal government that was intricately involved with Mr. Epstein here played another bigger role when it came to censoring and silencing this major story and bombshell and court proceeding from moving forward that would have at least allowed the American people to see what was actually happening behind the scenes here. Now, what actually happened here, we're only speculating, but it's fair to say, with so much corruption, with so much illegal activity conducted by the U.S. federal government, by local law enforcement, by federal judges and prosecutors, by politicians and celebrities that were all involved here, I think it's fair to say that there's an overwhelming amounts of coincidences that point to the fact that this Attorney General was fired for actually doing her job and trying to get justice for all the small children that went missing and were hurt here during this saga that was financed by U.S. tax dollars. So yeah, this is a big story. All of this while the corporate media seems to have already forgotten this story as they're trying to go after Elon Musk for allegedly partying with an individual that currently is being held in jail for the next 30 days. I want to talk about this as well as what just happened last night with an NFL player going down during a televised game. I want to talk about that plus a lot more later on today on LukeUncensored.com, our own broadcast where we get to say and do what we want. Sadly, the Google files have not yet been released, and we still don't have real speech on this platform and have literal feds and FBI agents waiting to click the button to delete this channel if we talk about certain issues, along, of course, with algorithms that automatically trip up particular sounds, particular videos, particular photos, and use them as an excuse to downrank videos so people don't see them. This is why we created our own platform, where we get to talk about whatever we want on our own platform. You also get a forum. We're also going to be doing an AMA this Thursday where you get to ask me whatever you want. I will be answering all of your questions. You get 3 master classes. You get a members only shirt. We just launched a new shirt that is absolutely incredible. It's an all-in-one exclusive t-shirt that you could only get at cost, the cheapest you could get it, by being a member of LukeUncensored.com. You get a lot of other perks. You get a lot of other memberships, deals, and offers. But more importantly, you get a community of a lot of people coming together and saying enough is enough. You want that plus a lot more. Sign up right now on LukeUncensored.com, and I will see you there right after this broadcast, as our special video will be out and ready for you guys right now. Just click the link down in the description below. This, as of course, we're going to go into our main topic, as a video is widely being shared of what is, quote, exclusively footage of what's happening right now at the House GOP caucus meetings, showing specifically Republicans fighting other Republicans, as we are waiting to see who actually was voted in as Speaker of the House. Now, of course, the Republicans have a very small majority, but the House is divided, as other individuals, a part of the GOP, like Lauren Boebert, are saying that they're voting for someone else other than Kevin McCarthy. Lauren Boebert just announced that she voted for Jim Jordan to be Speaker of the House. We're also hearing that U.S. Congressman Matt Gaetz also voted for someone else, officially announcing that the, quote, swamp cannot be drained if you put the, quote, biggest alligator in charge of it. This, as Kevin McCarthy has been widely criticized for, of course, being a Liz Cheney-like Republican and also close friends with the fellow congresswoman that, of course, represent a larger rhino neoconservative old party GOP base establishment of the political party. This, as we're hearing, it's not just 9 people or 5 people voting against McCarthy. It could be as many as 20 people, a part of the U.S. representatives going against him. This, as very interestingly, U.S. Congresswoman Major Taylor Greene actually comes out in support of Kevin McCarthy and is actually telling her fellow Republican and conservative Congress members to vote for him in political office. Now, with politics, there's of course a lot of backdoor dealings. Lauren Boebert is actually coming out and talking about how there was actually a meeting between them and Kevin McCarthy in order to set out specific deals that they could work together on, that they could, of course, compromise on in order to move forward together, in order to, of course, solidify their vote for Kevin McCarthy as, of course, the Speaker of the House. And according to Lauren Boebert, the Speaker of the House denied to meet them halfway and conceded that, of course, is their version of events of what's happening here. Other people have, of course, different version of events. Dan Crenshaw is, of course, criticizing the people who are not standing behind Kevin McCarthy, saying, of course, very aggressive things against people standing in the way of the Republicans getting control of the House. This, as some Democratic Congress members are cheering on this larger discontent and negotiations and disarray at the GOP, which Glenn Greenwald pointed out that the GOP holdouts are actually, quote, doing what the squad never has the courage to do, use their power to defy party leadership in order to extract concessions. Quote, not sure why it's a source of pride to show you how you always submit to party orders like good soldiers. Not much dignity in that, making a very good point here. This, as a lot of people expect Hakeem Jeffries to possibly be the Speaker of the House, which Glenn Greenwald has also called the, quote, breathing embodiment of K Street sleaze of everything the squad claims to oppose. And politics is a dirty game. What do you think about what's unfolding right now? How would you vote if you were a Congress member? Let me know down in the comment section below. One more video coming your way right now on LukeUncensored.com, where I could finally get into some bigger issues and things that I've been dying to get into. And that plus a lot more, LukeUncensored.com. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys going on there, sharing this video, and this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on WeAreChange.org.